Sorry about that, guys. Yes, I have a very loud keyboard. I'm told it's
Hey,
quite annoying.
hey, can everyone hear us? Is anybody having difficulty hearing us on audio?
Is anybody on Twitch so they can tell us whether they see us?
Spiral hears us. Keith hears us.
Okay. That would be us. And welcome, everybody. I see a lot of new names. It's really nice to see you. And I hope I don't crash, so I will be very, very quiet, and or should I say I'll be very careful with my avatar today. Okay, everybody here? If you can't hear, we put the link in there. Just copy paste it so you can head over to Twitch. Watching chat, so sorry. So that everybody can make sure that they don't hear music. Okay. Well, welcome to Sinespace, guys. And please no laughing at my slideshow. I'm not an expert at this. Just wanted to go over just some of the quick things that you can do with the customization of your avatar and have a little social gathering so we can all meet each other. I'm going to also go over some of the advantages to creators because of our customization, and people will be able to see all the incredible things that the creators will be making. So, I will go to the first slide. What I'm going to cover is the outfit window, how to choose gender, the one nice thing about that we have, body customization, the new thing that we call morphs, your inventory, outfits, shopping, pretty much all the basics. And go ahead and feel free to put stuff in chat. I can actually see it now. And if I don't see it, Jaden will poke me. Now, the very first thing that is extremely easy here is changing gender. So you can go back and forth. You can come in and accidentally have logged in as a female for the first time, which is no problem. It's a quick, easy gender change. You can change your avatar very easily from male to female by saving outfits, which I'll go over also. But if you want to change the gender in your profile, it's even easier. You simply go to your profile, hit your edit, and you can see there that you can change it from male to female. You can do that as many times as you want for whatever reason that you need to. Yay, simple. Now, this is your outfit window. Outfit window is the is the tab at the very bottom. You just click outfit, and this will come up, and you'll see this, see yourself this way. You do have controls, movement controls, which I find are extremely easy to use. So you can move your avatar. You can highlight either your legs, your torso, your head, and you can move around all within those areas. So you can get in as close as you want or as far out as you want. Now, if you want to create a new outfit, you have two choices. You can do it by, let me see, did I get that second slide? No. You can do it by creating an entirely new one from default avatar. And to do that, you would simply click new, create new, and you would choose male or female. Then it will ask you what you want to name that outfit. You put that name there. Click OK. If you want to change one from one that you already have, so you have a shape that you really like and you just want to change the clothing, then you would do it from your edit outfit or your outfit list, and you would click on that, and that would bring that up. Now, changing your outfit. And please stop me if I'm going too fast. Okay. Um, to change your outfit, it's very easy. You'll find your wearing button on the left at the top, and that's going to show you everything that you have on. Some of the items do have the ability to change color on them, and some do not. That's what you see there with the little white thing, little white box. If you want to remove something, you just press the remove. It's not going to delete it. You can put it right back on. It's not a problem. And you scroll down here, you'll see everything that you're wearing. Now I'm highlighting two of the body items. And when you click on body over in the far right, this will pop up. This window pops up, and it comes in sections. So it will tell you your hair, it will tell you your shoes. So each section will have those items in it. You don't have to, rummage through everything. And you click on those to change. Adam. Oh, different Adam. That is, so, okay, that distracted me. I'm sorry, guys. One thing that you will find with your clothing is there's different layers. You can see that they will have they're different layers. So we have underwear layer, we have close fitting layer, we have loose, we have baggy, and we have outer layer. When you're layering your clothes, some things are created in a specific layer. So when you want to put your clothes on, if something is not working properly, it might be because of the layers are not working or don't work well together. That's not something that you can change. That is something that the creator creates it as, because that's where they want it to be sitting for the reason that they are making it. Which also means that sometimes you're going to find that you will have to take something off instead of just clicking on it in the inventory and having it switch for you. Any questions on that? I'm going to stop and ask about questions on that one, because that's kind of complicated sometimes. Okay. Let's go on to how to actually play with your avatar shape. The first, Keith, he raised his hands. Does he have a question? And I can go back to that. When you're changing your shape, the first thing that you'll find is we don't need clear alphas. The reason that we don't use clear alphas is because the clothing is uploaded and it has an automatic alpha. If the creator doesn't need to add in what we call a deletion zone, they're automatic. So all clothing has an automatic alpha against the skin. That could very well be because of the clothing item or because of the shape that you're choosing. We can go over that directly with you, and you can show us your screen, and we can tell you what the problem is right after this. We'd love to do that. Okay, so if anybody has those kinds of problems, grab us. You can grab us in Discord. You can grab us, in World, and we'll get with that with you. This actually is in Wiki. I took all of the images from my Wiki tutorial in Outfit UI. I'll give the link. Okay, Spiral. When people are adding, and let's go back here. Spiral's talking about layers, correct? Okay. You could very easily have two shirts on because they're on the same layer. So you're going to have to decide which one you're going to want to wear. Some of the jackets will be on a baggy layer as opposed to an outer layer. So you can't put two of the same on. at this point. Some of the creators have not made it so that they work that way now. So you will find that that's going to happen. It's very easy. Simply take one of them off, and you can see in the one that you've put on what layer it is. Hold on a second. Okay, on to that. Default presets. When you press on default presets, you're going to find a variety of presets that are already there. And the shapes are all different, but there's something to start with. You don't have to start here. You can start with the base one. You'll find the shapes are different, the faces are different. So it gives you something to work with. Feel free to use those. It can give you some ideas. They're a little bit, somewhere to start. Not necessary, but they are fun to start with. So let's talk about the heads. Go on to the head sliders. Just if you check a preset, you're still going to go on and you're going to customize beyond that. Head tab. Oh, this is fun. This is truly a fun place. We have what's called ethnicity. I can't pronounce that. So sorry, people. Sliders. And they're pretty self-explanatory as far as what the names are, but play with them. You can do an immense, I mean, the things that you can see right there that I have taken a little bit of all three of them and put them into a shape. And you can just continue to do that, because what's going to happen is it's going to shape the eyes differently, it's going to shape the nose differently, it's going to do the entire face differently. So you're combining things that are just amazing. I mean, I just cannot say enough about this. So once you get something, and you might look a little weird at first, but then just you can go on and continue to do a heck of a lot more to it. We have, for those of you that are familiar with, I will say the word SL, Second Life, we have the same sliders. We do, however, except we have these additional sliders. So they're the same names that you're familiar with. So you do the eyes, you do the forehead, you can do the chin, you can do the mouth, and those ethnicity sliders will help change the mouth, the eyes, everything else in addition to those sliders. So it has so many more options. Questions on that? I will wait a moment because I know there's a delay in my voice. Again, anything that you want us to go over with personally, we will be more than happy to after this. And yes, we have music coming and a DJ. Yay! Okay, let's go on. Body slide, body shape. Again, have fun. There's a huge amount of different options. There's another option coming up that you're going to really like at the last option. That's going to have a lot to do with this, but you can move everything. Now, the arms, you can do the size, you can do the width, you can do the length, you can do the individual length, you can do, like you can have your arm really long, but your, forearms really short. I mean, you can do crazy things. Have fun. Looking forward to everything that you guys come up with. If you find that, as I go through this, when you start to play with your own avatar, if you find that there are problems, we will help you with that. We also want to hear it because we want to hear about that, okay? Okay. Skin and shading. This is something new to a lot of you out there. This will list all of your skins. You don't have to go to your inventory, which is really nice. So you're going to see them all here. Now, the above is the shading. And what that does is the top one is going to color your skin. So you can be green, you can be purple, you can be orange, or you totally mix it to where you're just slightly a little bit darker based on what the skin that you choose. The bottom one I have set to black. That has the least amount of any kind of reflection from the lighting in a region. You can have that so you are very shiny. A lot of times your skin tone is going to determine how you want that to reflect, and that's where you do that. For the darker skin tones, it's more of a kind of a bluish tint, very light bluish tint. Play with that. That will help. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, it's fun. It's truly fun. Body morphs. Okay, this is something so cool. Those of you that are used to having to wear attachments to get the term mesh bodies no longer have to worry about that. These are morphs. A morph is basically the same thing, but you wear it as I'm going to say as a skin layer. We will use that term. And it does the shaping of the body. And from there, you can also then continue to shape that body. And it will use all of our sliders. There's not going to be anything that it won't be able to use, so that you don't have to worry about that. You'll be seeing a whole lot of new. Right now we have what I showed there are DAZ 3D originals. There are a few of those. That's one of theirs that we have coming in. And so that's what they have set up. And they have it set up in a way that's a little bit different than others. So when you start to work with those and use those, okay, the morphs. Have you tried a morph yet, Arctic? Or Miss Rose? I don't know if you've tried one yet. When you buy a morph, this particular one, it has 2 layers to their morph. But when I don't know how to describe. I don't have one that. Oh, lost voice. Pop over to. Hold on a second. It seems some people are losing voice. Okay. Yay. Okay. Morphs, you're going to see a lot more of them coming out. You're going to have a lot of different shapes. You're going to see a lot of very bizarre shapes. This is where these things come in. And this is just an incredible thing for both the community and for creators. This is a little bit more detailed, so we can do this in another session that's more detailed in how these work. We'd love to do that. Let me know. I'll put one together. Okay? Just trying to do a quick overview today, just to get you. Actually, we do have one. We have a couple of them. They're in the shop. I'll go over that with you later. Thanks. Okay. This shows that what I did on this one is I just changed the shape of the face. I did the base face shape on this one to do a morph. This is what we do with DAZ. They have a base shape. Then you click on the actual shape of the face that you want. That one is Shyla there, and that's the one that I eventually chose. And then you can still choose, you can still edit the whole thing. All of the sliders will still work. Okay? You're just going to love them. Now, quick, this is what, like I said, this was a quick thing. Let's talk about saving these. If you chose one of the items that you have already made and all you've done is you're changing the clothing, you will want to do save as, because you want to rename that. So you have a new outfit now. Okay? If you have a brand new one from a brand new base avatar, just press save and close. And they're saved. I'm not done yet though. More fun. Shopping. This is your shop tab. This is our in-world marketplace. Our market shop. We do have one online. It is the same one, and you can purchase there or you can purchase here. Okay. So this is it's probably an old beginning one. The very first thing you will see is featured ones on the front, and then all of the tabs along the top. Not everything needs to be bought with gold. It can be bought with silver. If you find things that you want to buy that you do need gold, it is a simple process. You have two ways of doing that. One in the actual UI outside of the shop tab, and in the shop tab, either one. They will bring up that screen you have there to purchase. Simple. There we go. Okay. Now, once you have, then you can go and shop to your heart's content. And when you pick a clothing item, let's just take hair as an example. It's under body. Hair is under body and clothing. You'll see all of those tabs there that show what's in there. So I'm just going to pick a new hairstyle. Okay. So I click the one that I want, and it shows up on me. I'm sorry, I didn't get in the whole amount, all of the clothing or color options. But you'll also have in most things available colors. What you want to make sure that you do is the color that you want, you make sure that you have clicked on in the options and it shows on you, then you can purchase. The one in the window there where you purchase will not change, but the one that's on you is what you want, is what you will be purchasing. That's very important. Again, you have wonderful controls. You can move yourself around. You can see how it looks in every angle, how far, how close. Okay? The one thing that the one thing that I want to go over, like I said, it's a real quick thing for creators. This I hope just gave you a whole lot of ideas. I know that you're going to want to talk about a lot more. You have clothing and accessories. You have skins and tattoos. Skin layers are the same as tattoo layers. The morphs, they're fun. We have just got some new tutorials coming out on that. Full body replacements is, you'll see some of us wander around as a chicken or a cow or a monster or you name it. That's a full body replacement. We have home and garden and of course regions. These are all large presentations in their self. These are all large presentations on their own. Thank you. So what we also have is incredible support. Live help, multiple contact points. We do have our support page for your account and for your account problems. You can get us in world in the Welcome Center, in new user chat, in global. You can grab us there, and if somebody can't help you there, the guide or the greeter cannot help you, they will find somebody. We have Discord, which is live, and we have forums. So you have a huge variety of places to grab one of us. And of course, we have YouTube videos. We have our wiki. I do want to warn that we are working on Wiki. We have changed so drastically and so quickly that we're trying to keep up with all of the changes in there. So please let us know if you're finding something that's not quite making sense, and we will help you through that. Now, and welcome everybody that just came in during my during the presentation. Please, we're opening this up to anybody to ask questions and comment, anything you'd like to on that. Not too long, we will be having our DJ come in so we can party. And I'm going to go off voice here, and I'm going to mute myself for a few minutes. And we do have technical people here that can answer your technical questions, creators. So please feel free to ask. See, Jaden, you're on voice, right? We're still here?
No, I'm not on voice.
Okay. Let me introduce everybody to Jaden. You'll see Jaden in Discord. You'll see Jaden in World. This is who you're speaking with. And
I don't know, I'll have to mute my mic a bit.
That's what happens when Jaden's on voice. So yes, that's who you will be talking to in Discord. Oh yes, we didn't go over the scaling on the option, the UI. Okay, I'm going to let Joshua talk.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm jumping in then. Can everybody hear me? I'm not sure if everybody can hear me, but I assume they can, since if they can hear you, they should be able to hear me. Hello, everyone. We've had several people notice that the interface can seem quite large depending on the screen that you're on and the resolution that you're running at, or it may seem really small if you're running on like a 4K monitor or something. But if you go into the settings, which is on the bottom right of your screen, you'll see a little window with a gear icon next to it. You click that to bring up your overall Sinespace settings. Under the UI tab, there's an option to adjust your interface size. You can scale it up or down, and it will dynamically reposition everything for you. It's a very handy little feature. And if you didn't notice it earlier, there is also a sound tab under the same settings where you can adjust individual sound mixers. You can individually turn your music up or down, or your sound effects, or the voice that you're hearing, as well as your mic sensitivity. Sometimes it's nice to be able to tune the music out and focus on other things. Does anyone have any questions that we can answer for you based on the presentation, or if you have any other questions based on what you've experienced so far, or any sort of thing that you've attempted to do in Sinespace so far? Yeah, we do actually have the ability to completely recolor all of the UI elements on demand, and that is something that we've been talking about. Is we use it for building custom viewers for white label grids who want a specific appearance for their corporate look or their educational institution, but it is something we've been discussing making available in the standard Sinespace viewer settings so that people can choose to have a pink user interface if they want instead of a blue one. Yeah, a dark mode would be nice, but it's going to. An interesting issue with dark mode is how useful that's going to be is going to depend on the particular region that you're in. So it would have to be something that was easily toggleable on and off, perhaps a dedicated button next to the settings button. Yeah, a dark mode UI definitely is something that we would like to implement. It should be a fairly simple thing. It's just a matter of somebody sitting down and taking the time to figure out which colors look best in a dark mode. It looks like we're having some people having trouble getting their voice to activate. But are there any other questions? Feel free to drop questions into chat. We're all watching that. Yeah, we don't have any current plans as far as building that sort of customization directly into the viewer, but that is something we can certainly talk about. It would depend on what it is that you want to change. We could fairly easily make it so that if you wanted the hotbar on the top or on the left or right or something instead, that could be something that could be accommodated. Very simple. Unity's UI is quite powerful and quite flexible in the way it places things, and it's just a matter of adjusting the anchor points for the different items. If that's something that's a feature that people want, we could certainly look into adding a ability to just simply open a customization window and pick, at the very least, where certain elements appear.
If you have got any requests like that, you can also put them on our issues page as a feature request. I'll post that link in the chat so that you can all see it.
Yeah, and I'm just being told that actually Adam, our chief platform designer, is actually already working on making the UI modular and adjustable in that way. So that is something that's already on the roadmap as far as a feature that we're going to implement. As far as clothing materials differing in different regions, a lot of that has to do with the particular region, the way that region is set up in terms of the lighting, and the way that it has its reflections set up, for example, or not set up, as some cases may be. Really, and then there's also the post-processing effects that are on that region, which can vary from region to region. We have essentially unlimited control given to the region designer in that regard to how they adjust their ambient occlusion and the color grading that happens, and a whole bunch of different effects can be modified for the region owner to achieve the effect that they're interested in visually. And that means that some items are going to look different in one region than the other, and that's, I mean, we could, in theory, exempt some effects off of certain clothing items, but then it would be jarringly out of place in the region. The whole point of the region being able to have that consistent look and feel is the ability for everything that comes in there to look like it belongs there. So as far as clothing appearance goes, there's just going to have to be an understanding when you're designing the clothing that, like, you know, a shiny leather may have a very different look in a region with one set of post-processing, and may look, you know, completely different in like the Welcome Center or something as an alternative.
Yes, we are getting the UI skylighting editing in Room Edit. That is coming. Adam's working on that as we speak.
Yeah, that's actually already in some of our more recent viewers. I suspect many of you are using either the 1B44 or 1B49 viewers that are on our live or staging download, but we actually have a newer series of viewers that's about to come out. I'm actually running it myself, and it does have built-in skybox editing, so you can play with all of those things if you want to override what's built into the region. As far as being able to override the region just for yourself, so that you can just see exactly what you want the region to look like and what not everybody else sees the region as. I don't think we have that as an option at the moment, but there's no reason that once the editing controls are in for adjusting the region itself, the exact same controls could be used to adjust what you see locally. The largest region in terms of kilometers, we don't really have a hard limit. All of our regions are limited by their file size rather than arbitrary numbers. So, if you wanted to have a region that was many kilometers on a side, that is an option. What you're going to run into is the fact that to fill that much land with meaningful content, you may find yourself running up a really high megabyte, the physical file size of that region, which is going to take a very long time to upload, a long time to process, and then when users load it, you'll have to be very careful about performance on it, like what can a user see at any given time, so they're not overloading their computer with having too much stuff on it. But yeah, we support very large region sizes. The skybox editing feature is going to be, you won't be able to do it here because currently it is in the room editor, which means you have to have permissions to edit the region that you're in, which means you either have to be an owner or administrator of that region. A way to back up your region. I mean, I guess the question is, what is it you want to back up? Because the region, if it's a region that you built and uploaded it, then you have all of the same files locally on your machine. So nothing would prevent you from simply re-uploading that if you needed to. If you're talking about saving, and yeah, the way it is decorated, if you're talking about saving the way it's decorated, like the particular furniture that's in it and the particular arrangement of things that you've put in it or customizations that you have made to it, that is something that we do want to support. As I want to save not just this region, but the particular settings it is. That's not something we currently have as an option for you, but it is something that we do want to do. If you were to somehow absolutely destroy your region in some way, like through I mean, there's not only so many ways you can do that. If you're in the room editor and you accidentally mess up a bunch of stuff, you can simply not save it. Worst case scenario, the changes that are made in the live room editor are persistent, but they don't actually, from a technical standpoint, change the underlying region. So we can actually go into a region and say, reset all of the changes that have happened on this region through the live room editor, and it will go back to being exactly the way it was when it was first uploaded. Yes, all of those things are planned. Actually, we have we're getting ready to launch a very cool Terraform feature. It's voxel based. You can you not only can raise and lower terrain and that kind of thing, but you can also build caves and cliffs and floating land, and you can put water wherever you want it, and you can change the textures, and we have some really cool placement tools for being able to scatter stuff quickly, like rocks and trees and landscaping and that kind of thing, over whatever the land mass is, as well as the ability to chop that up into parcels and be able to resell those parcels or rent those parcels to other users as well. So we do want to foster that sense of this is a combined community, and we have those tools. The terraforming and the voxel terrain system is actually just about ready for release. Yeah, and we are planning to have in-world mesh creation as well. We've got a variety of tools that we're integrating for that. It's something we definitely want to support, but you're always going to have a more powerful experience and a more versatile experience using the Unity editor itself. But we want to have as much of that brought in directly through the viewer as possible as well. Yeah, multiple people can edit a region. It just requires that the original region owner, whoever uploaded it or created it, just has to go in and specify this person is now an admin of this region, and that person, as an admin, would then have the ability to edit and change the region. That was actually done in this region. This region is actually owned by Adam, but at the moment, Michelle's avatar is set as an administrator, so she was able to put out like the presentation board and such. If I miss any questions, feel free to raise them again. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here, but some of them may slip by.
Now, if Michelle did that, she wouldn't be very popular with Adam now, would she?
Yeah. Nothing has been destroyed. And as I said before, even if for some reason a region were to be quote unquote destroyed, then we can simply reset it back to its original upload state. How many home regions can someone have before on their subscription? Well, it depends on their subscription. The basic subscription, if you log in, you're a free user, you don't have anything special, you get one home region. It can have up to 10 people in it at a time, and it can be up to 128 megabytes in size. That is the basic free level. Everybody gets that, so everybody starts off with a region that they can play with. If you haven't seen it already, by default, it's a really nice house with a yard and a driveway and a garage and all that kind of fun stuff. Very, very flashy and modern looking. But if you don't like it, you can get a different region off the store. You can make your own region, and you simply upload it and swap it out. You can actually have any number of regions currently uploaded. You can just only have one of them turned on at a time. So if you uploaded your own region, you would have to turn off the default house and then turn on your own region, and it would still fall under the same limitations. It would still only be able to have 10 people at a time in it, and a maximum size of 128 megabytes, and that includes any furniture items you've rezzed into it. So if you have a region that's only 40 megabytes, but you put 60 megabytes of furniture into it, then you're at 100 megabytes of your quota.
If you upgrade your plan to a premium plan, nothing changes. Your regions will still be the same. It's just your plan and your megabytes will get adjusted to the premium plan that you've picked.
That's correct. You can just in place upgrade your subscription, and it will just automatically mean that your regions can have more people in them, and that they can be larger, and that you can have more of them active at any one time. The nice part about that is, since everyone starts with a region of their own, it means that there is essentially a built-in market for every creator, whether you're making clothes or furniture or games or tools, whatever it is that you're making. Everybody automatically has a place to put that, and which means everybody is automatically a potential customer. Yes, and that's a good thing to mention as well, is that the free accounts, if you want gold to spend, then you can just click the buy gold option and just purchase gold as you need it. The premium accounts, if you upgrade to a premium account, you do get a gold stipend as well that comes along with that account. Are there any other questions that people have about the subscription plans, or how to get around in Sinespace, or how to create things in Sinespace? Really, this is an open floor. Whatever you have questions about, we're here to answer. Yeah, well, I mean, we have the concept of lots or parcels as well. When we say that's something that's distinct from regions. If you a region is the entire area that you load into, but then that can be further chopped down into pieces. You can say, my friend here, or my renter, or whatever is going on there, can build in this particular area and put out furniture and change the features of this particular spot. So we do have that idea of parceling as well as having a whole region. Yeah, if you have stuff that you've already purchased from Daz 3D, that is something that we can have a discussion about one-on-one. We have some stuff that we're working on in that regard, but anything that you've purchased in terms of 3D assets or that sort of thing, if you can drop it into Unity, then we can find a way to use it in Sinespace. If you've got Daz clothes or Daz objects or Daz skins or things like that, really any sort of 3D asset can be made to work. Yeah, and that's something that is worth bringing up here as well. Gabby, thank you for mentioning that. We would like to facilitate as much as possible the bringing your content here in a way that makes sense for you and that your customers are accustomed to. So we are actually openly taking a wish list. If there's a feature that you feel like you need in order to make your content work here, please let us know. There's the Sinespace Creators Group on Facebook is a great place to discuss it. If you can get together, especially a group wish list of things that you feel like need to happen, then we would love to be able to incorporate those features directly into our outfit window, for example, so that users all have a consistent expectation of where those customizations are happening and a consistent experience using them. And it's less work for everyone here because you don't have to create your own custom customization HUD solutions, which is a lot of work, and also could result in a different experience purchasing one person's clothing versus another person's clothing. As much as possible, we want things to be intuitive and easy for users, and lower that hurdle to buying and using the stuff that you built.
You can actually link Sinespace to a website, use PHP, MySQL, and all of that. Joshua already does this.
I must have missed the question that's involved here, but yeah, I assume this is a Lua scripting question. Anybody who's done scripting in Second Life will be blown away by what Lua can do. If you have no prior experience with any other language outside of Second Life, Lua is a proper, fully featured programming language. And one of the many things it does support is the ability to reach out and communicate with web servers directly, and bring back that information and parse it as needed. We also directly support things like you can just simply say, reach out, grab this picture off of the web, and display it on a user interface or a prim surface or anything like that that can take any sort of normal texture. Yeah, there's to the idea of floors. There's actually two ways that we have parceling. One of them is the floor system, where when you're building a region, you can put out like for example, a flat objects and say this is a floor, this area that is 20 by 20 meters, and then you can have a different area. It's like, okay, I've got another 20 by 20 floor over here, and I've got a 40 by 40 floor over there, and each one of those would have a different floor component on it and could have different restrictions as to who and what can be placed in those particular areas. We also have a more dynamic parceling system coming on that was in the works right now. Will be coming online with the voxel terrain system for the terraforming, and that is the ability to change the arrangement of those floors and parcel layouts directly through the viewer instead of making those changes in the region itself before you upload. Something interesting for the scripters as well, regarding the question with TCP sockets with Lua. We have a networking system that's built into our scripting system, and something important to know when you're building interactive content on Sinespace is that unless you explicitly say otherwise, if you're building a custom scripting program, the changes that scripting program perform on avatars and regions or anything in the scene are localized, which means only the person performing that actions are going to see the changes. And if you want to have everybody in the region see those changes, then we have a built-in networking system where you can say send these changes over to other viewers in the region. You can send it to specific people. You can send it to everyone in the region. It has a lot of interesting potential there, in that you don't necessarily have to have everything networked. There are many things that make complete sense for only the user to be able to see. One very simple example of that is if you're designing a card game, then you can have cards that are exclusively visible to each individual person and are not networked out for everybody to see. Yeah, customization options is something that we're always eager to add as much as possible. We want to make everything as flexible as possible, both through the editor itself when you're uploading, as well as through the Sinespace viewer itself, so you don't have to use the editor in for many things. That's something we can talk about. It depends on the specific application that you're wanting to do with Lua scripting. When you just say TCP sockets, it's like, okay, what are you trying to connect to? What are you doing with that? We do have a substantial amount of connectivity tools, but we would have to have a specific discussion about what application you're trying to build and what it's reaching out to and connecting with. I will say that there are limitations on what we can call our main public grid. We have the Lua scripting language, which is very powerful, but we also don't want users to be able to do anything potentially malicious with it. We don't want you to have to worry when you're going into a region on the public grid as to what is this region going to take my viewer and take my computer for a joyride. We absolutely do not want that. So what can be done on the main grid is not necessarily what can be done in general. There we have the option to have separate grids, and those grids have essentially no restrictions on what they can do. Those separate grids can even have custom code written in C# if you wanted to. You can extend the viewer in basically any way that you want to on those private grids. But on the main grid, we have some limitations deliberately in place in order to make it safe for everyone. Yeah, the Discord link is definitely something that we should be putting. Everybody should avail themselves of. If you don't have Discord already, it's very easy to sign up, and it's a great place for creators to communicate not only with us but also with each other. When the Keith, when the 2B viewer comes out, there will probably be a short transition period, but ultimately we are planning to make the upgrade to 2B mandatory. So at some point we will be cutting off access to the 1B viewers, and we will insist that everybody go up to the 2B viewers once we are satisfied with where the 2B viewers are at.
Joshua, may I suggest that you explain to those that are not familiar with why we're doing that?
Okay.
Thank you.
So what we currently call the 1B series of viewers is based on... Sorry, there's a lot of white noise on this channel. Does somebody have their microphone turned on? That shouldn't be. Anyway, the 1B series of viewers is based on Unity 2017, and the 2B viewers is based on Unity 2018. There are some substantial changes between the two, and so for the best experience for everybody, the 2018 viewer can support and display all content that was built in a 2017 viewer, but the 2017 viewer isn't necessarily going to be able to display all content that was built in a 2018 editor instead. So we want you to continue to be able to use the 2018 editor in order to create content and upload it if that's what you're comfortable with. But on the viewer side of it, everybody, in order to be able to have the maximum compatibility and see all content that has been uploaded the way it was meant to be seen, will need to use the 2018 based viewers. That may
I
not...
heard Josh mention there about joining Discord.
Yes, there's a new Discord invite that's been dropped into the chat if anybody missed it before. Like I said, very easy to sign up, and we highly encourage everyone to do that.
There's a link in the Welcome Center also.
There is, yes. Can anybody hear me? It sounds like some people lost me. Hello? Can anybody hear me? It sounds like I was lost there for a moment. I think my voice dropped out and dropped back in. I'm not sure at what point I dropped out, so if they can let me know where I'm supposed to pick up here. Okay, so everybody can hear me now, is that right? Okay, I'm not sure where I dropped off there, so I'm just going to revisit the 1B versus 2B viewer issue there. The 1B viewer is based on Unity 2017, and the 2B viewer is based on Unity 2018. And essentially, the 2018 viewer can show all content that was built in a 2018 editor or older, but isn't necessarily going to show content that was built in a 2017 editor or 2018 editor correctly. So for everybody to have the best experience and to see all content the way it was intended to be seen, whether it was built in a 2017 or 2018 editor, then we're going to make the update to the 2018 viewer mandatory once we're happy with it. So we will be turning off access to 1B viewers at some point. Yeah, and that's something I'm just reading back in the chat here. It is a central premise of our platform that we do not want to break content, no matter what that content was created on. So we have content that was created years ago that still works today, because as Unity releases new upgrades, then we make sure that even if Unity themselves doesn't support older content, that we automatically upgrade that content to be compatible with the newer versions of Unity. So if you updated something on Unity 5, it still works today, because we make sure that it continues to work as we move along. We do not leave content behind. Yeah, we will let everyone know when we're ready to cut off the 1B viewer. It's something that should be a painless upgrade for everybody. You should be able to just simply download the new 2B viewer, install it. You probably won't even really notice much difference. The user interface is all the same. Everything will work exactly the same way as you expect it to. It's just some content won't necessarily render properly on the 1B viewer, and then it will in the 2B viewer. Especially there are some more complicated shaders that will sometimes just show up as all white in the 1B viewer if it was originally created for 2018. Hey, can everybody still hear me?
It would be cheating if I said yes, because I can hear you on Skype.
Yeah, that doesn't really... No, the 2B viewer should not have any higher system requirements than the 1B viewer does. There is actually the viewers should be getting faster as we upgrade, and as Unity optimizes their engines further. After 2018, we'll be looking at a pretty quick upgrade to Unity 2019 as well, and Unity 2019 brings with it some substantial performance updates. I guess I'm not, Chrissy, I'm not sure what your question is pertaining to there. Can we track people? What is it that, what is the actual question there? Can we track people who are teleporting? Like, are you saying you want the ability to track where other people leave, where other people go when they leave your region? Oh, you want to be able to know where your friends are? Is that what you're saying? I see what you're saying. You're talking about the tracking feature on Second Life that lets you see where your friends are on the overall map. I don't believe we currently let you do that at the moment, but there is no reason that we couldn't make it an option for your friends to let you see what region they're in.
That's one of those feature requests that you could put in issues.
Yeah, if that's something that you are deeply interested in having, then it can go on issues. It can go on the wish list that is being put together from SL creators coming over. Any way you want to get that suggestion to us, it wouldn't be likely a difficult thing for us to implement, but there would, of course, have to be some privacy permissions considerations around that, because we wouldn't necessarily want you to be able to track other people, whether they want to be tracked or not.
Yeah, Rose, I think Josh just covered that, but I don't think that we'd let other people track without the first person's permission.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be something that's off by default, and you would have to explicitly enable, yes, I want this person to be able to see where I am at all times. That is something we can look at doing, but we would not enable it as a default feature. An arbitrary world map. Yeah, I understand there's some appeal, and for some people to feel like, yes, this region belongs, to part of this world. We actually are working on building out an actual mainland where we can have continents, and that's using the terraformable terrain and the dynamic parceling system that we're working on. So there will be maps of these larger continents at the very least.
Well, I'm glad you do like it, Chrissy, because we like it 100% as well.
Yeah, we're quite fond of it as well, and we're always eager we're always looking for ways to make it better and to add features that make people more comfortable and more interested and more user-friendly. Many of us are from Second Life as well.
One of the important things is if you do have any ideas, like I keep saying, you can put it on issues as a feature request. If you don't fancy putting it on feature request, you can always poke one of us staff members and we can put it up there for you.
That's Jaden saying that he volunteers to upload.
I volunteer.
That's right.
But no, it's something that's good to discuss in Discord as well, because you can throw ideas out there, and it can be useful to get feedback and refine those ideas, and then you can submit them to us either directly or on the message them to Jaden or put them on the issue system directly. We always welcome people to get involved and upload their suggestions or any issues that they find.
I am going to put a little disclaimer on there, though. If you do poke Jaden to put it on issues for you, I expect chocolate.
I think that's completely fair. Yeah, we absolutely do not want to erode everyone's privacy. To Jamie Lee's point there, is that everything that is an invasion of privacy potentially is something that would require explicit permission to enable. I suspect you're going to get a lot of new friends today, Jaden.
Yay!
Yeah, that's something that we just want to reiterate as a general point, is that we aim to be as accessible as possible. We have guides, we have community managers, we have developers, and the right person will. If you have an issue, we will get it to the right person very quickly and get you an answer or a resolution as fast as we can. But we absolutely want to be at arm's reach and something that's available as a resource to you when you're creating or when you're just using Sinespace. Don't see Jaden in world.
Well, that's probably because Jaden's made of glass.
Yeah, I see Jaden world. In the very center of the ring here is someone made entirely of glass with bright pink hair and thigh-high boots and nothing else.
Actually, there is something there. Trying to wear clothing, it's just very glassy.
Yeah, it's very, very, very glassy. But when you're made of glass, I guess it doesn't matter what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Oh, and the friends requests come flooding in. I hope you guys have got chocolate for me.
You can click on someone's name in chat, and it will bring you right to see them.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this question, Gabby, about machinima camera options. We have a wide variety of camera options currently. We have what we call fly cam mode. We actually have a Unity compatibility mode, so you can use the cameras in Sinespace basically the same way they're used in the Unity editor. We've got like 5 or 6 different camera modes, but if there are specific camera features that you need to accomplish something, then we are absolutely we're absolutely willing to look at adding new camera functionality. It's not a difficult thing to do. We also support like the Space Navigator, which is commonly used for machinima. If you need something and you don't feel like the camera system is currently up to doing it, put that on the put that on a wish list. Put that on the wish list that we're putting together now on the Sinespace creators page, or just get it to us some other way. We are absolutely open to adding more camera options. Changing the default aspect of the walk-around camera. You're talking about the field of view, I assume. A customizable field of view is something that we should really have a slider for. However, I will say that that field of view can be changed dynamically based on context. So while you may be able to change the field of view for just normally walking and running around, most regions, the region can also choose to override your camera field of view. If you're sitting on furniture, that furniture can decide to override your field of view and give you a completely different camera perspective. Cameras are something that's very flexible and a very powerful tool for creators to build an experience and have that, whatever it is they've made, experienced exactly the way they wanted it to be made. So while we can give you a default field of view slider, it's not going to be something that's necessarily concrete all the time. Okay, thank you, Gabby. We can look at those issues, and we can put together a plan, like we'll get all of the camera suggestions in one place, and then we can look at whether that's something that can be incorporated into the existing camera modes, or whether that's something that warrants adding a completely new camera mode for. Adding settings to disable regional camera changes possibly is something we could look into doing. There are some pros and cons to allowing that. We do want you as users to have a great deal of control over your experience of the platform in general, but there is also a balance to be struck there with people who are building and creating regions and having those regions be experienced the way that experienced optimally as the way that they are designed. So if a region has particularly annoying camera issues, that's something we may look at mitigating in some ways, like putting minimums and maximums on the kinds of changes that can be happening to your camera. I don't know that we'll ever have it so you can completely disable any other camera activity at all inside of another region, but that's something that we can discuss.
Could never. Are you talking about an arrow at the top and the bottom of the scroll bar?
You were kind of cutting in and out there. Is this event going to be ongoing? Well, we are definitely going to be going for a while today. We actually have in the past run regular office hours sort of events, and that's something that we can schedule if, especially for at least several weeks or several months, whatever seems useful, as long as people are showing up and feel like it's a useful resource. We can definitely be doing more office hours types get-togethers where people can just ask questions and get immediate answers for it. But a lot of questions, if you're having issues uploading particular garments or things like that, or if you have particular use cases that maybe make more sense to do those in a one-on-one fashion.
You can't currently do it at the moment, put the arrows on the scroll bar, but that's a request that we could put forward.
Yeah, a once a month office hours type event like this is definitely something that we can do. You may need to look at adjusting the sensitivity on your mouse roller there, Vinyl Toast. Mine goes in and out quite quickly when I'm moving, but we can definitely, when I'm using the scroll wheel, but we can definitely look at having some options to augment that as well.
You are very welcome, Mimi. It's actually quite good fun to get to speak to all of you as a group, as opposed to just speaking to one-on-one in Discord.
Yeah, I guess it looks like it depends on what are you talking about, scrolling up and down in like the chat window, for example? That is, yeah, okay. I thought you were referring to the camera zoom, but yeah, the chat is something that we can fix. Unity on a per scroll bar basis lets you adjust the sensitivity of how fast a given window scrolls, and we probably need to turn that up. Turn up the default value of sensitivity on all of our scroll bars. By default, Unity has that value very, very low. Yeah, absolutely, and that's the kind of thing that's great to put on like the issues board or bring to our attention so that we can put it on the issues board. In my mind, something like that is considered a bug. We don't intend for it to be super slow scrolling, and it's a very easy thing to change.
You can still hear me on Skype, yeah?
I can still hear you, yeah.
Yeah, I keep having to mute my mic because I've got my other half watching TV behind me.
The default walk is slow. Well, you can always run instead, but yeah, I mean, there's a discussion to be had around that in terms of, you know, does it make sense to have everybody essentially running all the time? Is that the best experience? But we actually have the ability to dynamically adjust the speed up and down. In fact, somebody could, in theory, put a gadget on the shop that has a slider on your screen that lets you slide your speed up and down. We use that for a variety of. It can be adjusted at a region level. It can be adjusted on your avatar. You can even control your jump height as well if you wanted to.
You can actually override the animations already using the clothing overriders. Nobody's actually made an AO yet.
You cut out for most of that, Jaden. I didn't hear most of that, so I assume nobody else did either.
Is that any better?
As far as adjusting the walking speed, that is not up to the animator. You could the animation overriders could adjust how fast your legs move, but that isn't going to actually make you move through the world at a faster clip. There's a separate mechanism for adjusting how fast you physically move around and how high you can physically jump. But it is definitely something that can be adjusted. It's something we can adjust the defaults for. It's something that's actually open access to our Lua scripting system. So anything that has a Lua script in it can adjust the movement speed as well as the jump height on avatars. We've got some fun uses of that. We have a first-person shooter game that makes use of that, so users can put on various mods and different equipment to modify how fast they can run and jump. Yeah, some animations would be great to have if people want to make more animation overriders. How do guests apply for the month of free sub? Well, first they would have to make a full account. We have a guest login where you just show up and you're kind of a pseudo account where you can look around, but you have some limitations, and they would have to go ahead and complete the full sign up and become full accounts. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the avatars. They've come a long way. They keep getting more complex and more detailed, and we keep adding more options for customizing them while attempting to keep it so that any sort of clothing that was made automatically adjusts to any avatar changes and updates that we do. Yeah, we have audio reactive capability, so you can have animations or other things that are tied to the beat of the music or various other attributes of any sort of sound that's coming in.
Titles aren't customizable at the moment. You can earn them from quests and things like that.
I'm only hearing like every fifth word from you, Jaden.
There it is. Surface. Chlorine dissipates. The ammonia.
Are we getting more complex avatars? We are working on a variety of avatar updates. I don't know if the most recent one is currently in. We have a new one that has much more verts, and I think it hasn't been fully added. So I believe the answer to that is yes. Yeah, Keith, we're actually working on a whole new sign-up system for new users to get them into World and hopefully engage them in a new way, and they'll have a different selection of avatars to choose from. Yeah, Michelle's confirming that the 2019 avatar update is not live yet, so we do have a much more complicated, much higher Vertus count avatar that's coming in soon. As to the question about titles over your head, yes, that is something I believe you can set in the profile window under badges. Each badge has a title associated with it. Yeah, you don't have to rent if you don't want to. We want to make sure everybody has some space of their own that they can do what they want with, no matter their subscription level. So that's why we give everybody a private region right off the bat that you can do whatever you want to with.
Right, we'll give it another go. I should hopefully be working now.
We do, of course, hope that we get some interesting and vibrant communities coming out of the new voxel mainland system as well. But we know that not everybody likes to be in a big, raucous community, and some people just like to have a quiet place to go to. So it's useful to have, even if you are part of a community, everybody wants some place to retreat to. Nah, we sound Cybertronian.
They sound fine to me, but then I'm hearing them through Skype.
Cybertronian? What's Cybertronian?
Your voice sounds probably cyberish.
Digitized, I assume.
Yeah. If you guys want to, if
I
you're
do
done,
look a little bit like a robot tonight.
well, we can let everybody just sit and party now and chat and text and all of that. We'll stop bugging their ears.
Yeah, we can continue doing Q&A. We'll be continue watching the chat, so if people have questions, or we can have one-on-one discussions as well. But we've probably been going long enough, and everybody's going to be getting tired. So I will go ahead and mute myself off here, and we can bring in the music.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are.
Yeah, and we'll keep. We'll put updates on the various Facebook groups and other sources when we are doing another office hours.
Yep. No. Oops.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you everybody for coming, and we're going to be hanging around for a while. So I hope this was useful and everybody got their questions answered. If you still have questions, feel free to grab us individually, and we will be happy to help you.
Walking a maca, now we see you when me walk, burn up in a fire. All of in a front like a thinking filler with a girl ya wine, she look like mama killer. One touch me, it burn me like pepper. But you the DJ out on me a la. She me no walk by the fire. Walking a